be in. Let me say I'm so blessed to be here. It's a privilege and an honor, and I want the world to know that something is happening in Gainesville. It's called Gainesville. We not only want to move to amend, but we're here because we have a profound love of poor and working people of every culture, every civilization, every sexual orientation. Why? Because they are priceless, they are precious, and we will stand up. And Brother Martin used to say, anytime, every day people straighten their backs up, you're going somewhere, because folk can't ride your back unless it's bent. And it's been bent for too long. We straighten it up, yes, and we here at Bo Diddly Plaza. Give Brother Bo Diddly a hand. We had a brother who used to play organ in our church. His name was Sly Stone, and he wrote a song called Stand. In the end, you'll still be you, one who's done all the things you set out to do. Stand. You've been sitting much too long. There's a permanent crease in your right and wrong. Stand. There's a cross for you to bear, things to go through if you're going anywhere. And the history of this moment in which people decided to stand, beginning in Wall Street, on to Gainesville, on to Chicago, Detroit, over 150 cities, then it moved over to Europe, moved over to Asia. It is a global movement. Why? Because we're tired of corporate greed. That's why we're here. We cry tired of these decaying school systems in our cities, especially on the chocolate side of town. But when we talk about chocolate and loving our black and brown and red brothers and sisters, we know we love our white brothers and sisters too. We are in it together. But we want to tell the truth. We love our brothers and sisters catching hell in fence-line communities with that poison that's at work among these corporations. We love the precious children of all colors who have to wrestle with poverty. Can you imagine? 22% of our children of all colors, 56 living in or near poverty in the richest nation in the history of the world. That's a moral obscenity. It's an ethical abomination. 1% of the population on 42% of the wealth. The top 400 individuals have wealth equivalent to the bottom 150 million precious human beings in America. That is oligarchic, plutocratic. So if you want to see democracy in action, if you want to see folk lifting their voices, and you all know the Negro National Anthem of James Weldon and Rosamond Johnson from Florida was what? Lift every voice. And for too long we've been echoes. It didn't say lift every echo. It said lift every voice. Because when you're an echo, you're just a copy, but I see originals out here. When you're an echo, you're an imitation. I see creations out here.
Uncle C4.
And when you're a voice, you come together with other voices, just like Duke Ellington's band. But all the cacophony of voices raised in such a way that it escalates the quality of the collective performance. And then you look at the collaboration and say, my God, we've created something new. That's what the Occupy movement is. That's what it is. Democracy in action is raising your voice, just like jazz orchestras are symbolic forms of democratic action. And lo and behold, the mainstream media doesn't know what to do. They just want one demand or two demands. We say, no, we're a movement. And a movement has a vision, an alternative way of looking at the world. Did you hear Brother Malik sing his song? Did you hear Sister Margaret put forward her poetry? That Shelley is right when he says poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. He wasn't just talking about versifiers. He means all of those who have the courage to think for themselves, those who have the courage to love. And yes, I said love. I am unashamed in talking about loving other people. fact they're being treated unjustly. When you love folk, you can't stand the fact they're being treated unfairly. When you love folk, you know that justice is what love looks like in public. Just like tenderness is what love feels like in private. I didn't say my name, say my name. I said tenderness is what love feels like in private. And I want to be very honest with you that as the year progresses, the Occupy movement in all corners of this country are going to increase, escalate, because they turn and look at a right-wing, mean-spirited, mendacious, mediocre set of Republican candidates. And they say no. And they look at a Democratic Party that says, we have nowhere else to go because we're better. And we say, well, let's start with the truth. You're too milquetoast. Let's start with the truth. You're too scared that both parties are tied to oligarchic rule. You got a conservative version and a neoliberal version. We want democracy at the deepest level. Your black brother in the White House. Oh yes, I love everybody, including my black brother in the White House and the black sister he's married to, and those two precious black children in the White House built primarily by black slaves. But at the same time, I believe in unarmed truth, and the condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak. And so we want to tell the truth. We can protect, each and every one of us, because we're human beings. We have a dignity, and I would say a sanctity. We will respect each other because we're human beings, but at the same time, we must correct. And when we see any of our elites, I don't care what color, siding with Wall Street oligarchs or corporate plutocrats. When we see any of our elites, I don't care what color, engaged in imperial activity, dropping those vicious bombs on innocent brothers and sisters in Pakistan and Yemen. We look at the Middle East and we say, Lord, we've got Jewish brothers and sisters and Palestinian brothers and sisters. We love both, but you never have security predicated on occupation. I don't care what nation you are. It's because we are committed to what we think is right and moral and just, and we're willing to live and die for it. That's what Brother Martin was about. That's what Fannie Lou Hamer was about. That's what Miles Horton, our white brother, was about. That's what Cesar Chavez, our brown brothers, were about. And let's never forget the racist policy against our new immigrants. Keep track of their humanity. Oppose all those efforts to somehow lose sight, my dear sister. Lose sight of humanity. Now, of course, we're here because of the January 20th anniversary, yes. But we have a systemic analysis and we have a holistic vision. We know that our Congress more and more looks like a site of legalized bribery and normalized corruption. We know there's 13,000 lobbyists on K Street bombarding our politicians from both parties with huge money. We didn't have to wait for the super PACs to see the role of big money in shaping the political terrain.
Yes, sir.
But we make a connection between the corporate domination of the legislative body and the corporate domination of the executive body.
Yes.
Got Brother Jacob Blue just taking over. Where is he from? Citigroup again. My God, you can't get somebody outside of the corporate orbit. How limited are you? How truncated are you? What about work